Hello everyone, it's Cam from Arsenal Theory here. Just a quick video reacting to a couple of things that have happened. One this morning, one yesterday. First thing this morning, Pep Guardiola moaning about the charges that Man City have placed, the Premier League have put on Man City, 115 possible breaches of financial fair play. And he's moaning about how long the process is taking. And wants us to just come to a decision and get it over and done with, and why can't we get this sorted tomorrow? And the reason we can't get it done is because of you, Pep. Well, your club specifically and your club's lawyers. You're the one that keep deflecting everything. When Man City were charged with certain irregularities by UEFA a few years back, one of the things that was on the list was the refusal to cooperate with the investigation. And that's kind of happening at the moment. Man City tactic is just deflect and delay and just hope people get worn out by the process. It's to grind you down, get off on technicalities, time stipulations. You know, too much time has passed. You can't take this any further now. All that kind of bollocks. So for him to come out and say, why is it taking so long? It's because of your club. That's why it's taking so long. I mean, the Man City have been appealing against the person that's running the actual commission. So I believe there's a person that's running the commission, and they're going to decide to put a kind of team together of people that will look at the evidence for and against these charges against Man City. And in that person's bio, they're a sports fan, you know, they're a member of the MCC and also an Arsenal fan. And so they're objecting against that. They're saying that obviously this person could be biased. Well, this person is also a QC. He's one of the highest ranks you can get in British law and order. So I think if you're going to question that person's integrity, you're going to need more than the fact they've got a bio and they're Arsenal fan. I don't know if this next bit is true, but I did read that the Man City lawyer who they're using is also an Arsenal fan. So it's like one rule for them, but another for the Premier League, which sounds about right through the eyes of Man City. They clearly feel that the rules do not apply to them. So for Pep to come out, I hope Pep gets slaughtered by the press or before the final conference, before the final game of the season. And I hope whenever people talk about this City winning team, they tarnish it with the charges that they've had levelled at them. If Pep had said, look, these charges have come up, you know, I want this to be dealt with, but I understand it's a process or whatever, and it does hang over everything, I'd kind of understand it. But for him to come out and say, hey, why isn't this just being dealt with? It's because your club keep delaying it. Your club don't want to deal with it. They just want to keep kicking the can down the road, because the longer it is till the punishment is served, the longer you can kind of be successful for. So very disappointing. He kind of went down in my estimation because he seems like a really clued up guy, but he's already changing his tune. You know, when the charges were levelled at Man City, Pep had said that, you know, he was told the club had done nothing wrong. And he said, if they have lied to me, he said, I am out that door. You know, I'm out that door straight away. But then yesterday, or this morning, sorry, he was saying how I'll be here no matter what. I'll be here no matter what. What happens, I'll still be here. So, you know, who knows what's going through his head. There's just different things all the time. But yeah, very disappointed to see him kind of talk about the charges and wonder why it's taking so long. I suggest you have a look inside your own club, and I know you're all over the footballing side of it, but there's some non-footballing things that you might want to start paying some attention to. The second thing to talk about was it was actually a really good interview. I really enjoyed it. It's worth checking out on TalkSport. They did a 40-minute interview with Noel Gallagher. Obviously, you know, lifelong Man City fan, and they talk about his love for City through the years, the current team compared to previous teams, and also just some interesting Oasis stuff in there as well. But hey, this is Arsenal Theory, and so we're talking about Arsenal here, and he had a pop at Arsenal fans, which is totally fine. I totally get it. You know, he was saying how, you know, the Arsenal fans at January were saying the league was wrapped up. No, we weren't. I don't know any Arsenal fan that said the league was wrapped up. I didn't even know any Arsenal fan that thought we were going to win it, even in January. Pretty much all of us still felt that, yeah, City are going to go on a run and reel us in. And that's precisely what happened. So I can understand him being kind of banterish towards the nearest challengers to us, to Man City. But one thing he did say, which I think he's lying to himself, which was they brought up the issue of the charges against Man City, and he really tried to kind of downplay it. He used this really shit analogy where he said, yeah, you know, maybe they've done something, maybe they haven't, maybe they've, you know, given some sweets under the counter to someone while someone wasn't looking. And Simon Jordan pulled him up on it and said, look, this is a lot more than giving someone a few sweeties. And so he's trying to downplay it. And then he said, look, if we're found guilty, it doesn't tarnish any of the success that we've had for me. I just don't believe that for a second. Firstly, you know, any non-Man City fan, if City are found guilty, every non-Man City fan will look at those titles and it will be tarnished in their eyes. It'll be tarnished in my eyes. Looking at Man City have won all that stuff the way they have. The only people that won't feel it's tarnished is a certain group of City fans. And I just don't understand how you could enjoy it as much without any downgrade in that, knowing that you had cheated to get it done. It's just... It was quite a... I don't know if it was an ignorant comment. I think maybe he doesn't quite realise maybe how serious the charges are, or maybe once it does happen, I think once it happens, if they prove guilty, because they might get found innocent, if they're proven guilty and they're faced with whatever punishments they get, and if there's some severe punishments there, then in the cold light of day, I think he will look at it and go, oh, yeah, it's been sullied now. And it has. There'll be asterisks in every other fan's eyes against that. And so how can it not be tarnished when everyone else is looking at you going, yeah, okay, you won those, but did you really? So disappointing to see him say that, but you know, he's a Man City fan, so I can't believe they're all like that though. There must be some Man City fans out there that are that don't feel like that feel like, yeah, something really bad's happened here, and if we're found guilty, that is going to ruin it. And the funniest part for me of the interview though, which actually it kind of sort of ties into something. So one of the charges that City have got is for sort of inflating sponsorship deals. So being paid for sponsorship deals that are way above the market value of what they really should be worth, which is essentially based on how many eyes or how many fans Man City have, you know, how many people go to the stadium, fans worldwide. Anyway, Noel was talking about how he's not going to be able to get to the Champions League final because he's doing some gigs in San Diego, and they clash, and so he's going to miss it. And they had a phone call come in from the lady, really nice lady that runs the San Diego Man City fan club, and they have a bar, and she invited Noel to come and watch the game with them. And he was very gracious and was like, you know, I don't have any plans. I'd absolutely love to do that. He said, how many people are in the club? And the answer she gave back was 8. 8 fans in the Man City San Diego club. I mean, there you go. No wonder they're having to inflate all this stuff. They got no fans, apart from the ones in Manchester, which is nothing wrong with, by the way. But, you know, don't lie and cheat your way around it. And his face, it was the look of embarrassment on his face when she said 8. Like I said, nothing against the lady, really nice lady. I'm sure it's a beautiful bar, and I'm sure all 8 of them will have a great time. But that was quite funny. That was very, very funny. So anyway, I've still got stuff I need to do, so I'm going to cut this one short. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please press the like button. Please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.